Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands, with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
Hey, what's up? This is Dr. God Forbid, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
The views and opinions of the guest do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Radio Network, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Radio Network.
Hey everybody, this is John the Bod. I want to say welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. Like I promised, I have Doc Coyle on the phone right now from God Forbid. It's an honor to have this guy on the show. I've been a God Forbid fan for a long time. And without further ado, Doc Coyle, brother, how you are?
I'm doing very well. Just pulled into San Francisco. We're supposed to play tonight with Overkill. Our show got canceled, so we're just going to hang out in town, try to have a good time.
Oh, that sucks. Man. Yeah, I was going to talk about that. You guys are playing tonight out in San Francisco, but it sucks the show got canceled.
Yeah, well, we've been playing it pretty much every day, so, you know, it's a little hiccup in the road of rock and roll, but, you know, we'll get through.
Oh, yeah, of course. Now, after today's show, they got canceled, so tomorrow you guys are going to be in Los Angeles at Club Nokia with Overkill again?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Man, I looked at the schedule, and you guys are just jammed-packed through the summer.
Well, we're doing this tour when we're, like, you know, a little more than halfway done with this tour, and then we have a couple months off, and then we head out on the Trespass America Festival, you know, Five Finger Death Punch and Killswitch Engage, Trivium, you know, a bunch of those bands. That's a really exciting tour for us, too. So, you know, looking forward to it, you know. I mean, and this tour is going well. You know, we're just getting our feet wet. You know, we haven't toured in a while, so it's like, you know, just getting out there again and getting a feel for the road again, you know. Right,
exactly. And I seen where you guys were coming on tour, and I was like, well, wow. You know, they haven't put an album out since 2009, and I've been waiting for a long time for a new album. And I was like, finally, a new one. But, you know, things happen, and fans should understand that, because, you know, you can't just process an album out in like a year, like in time like that. I mean, it just don't happen.
Believe it or not, I mean, the process was compact. It was just that we had some, you know, structural things we had to do in terms of finding a manager and getting a record label. You know, if we had all that stuff in place, you know, at the end of the last album cycle, we probably would have had the album out like a lot sooner. So it was just kind of some circumstantial hiccups, you know, that we had to, get speed bumps we had to get over. So, but now we're back at it, and we'll see how it goes. We're really happy with the way the album turned out, and people seem to be enjoying it. So it's just, let's get out there and expose new people to the album, you know, and to the band.
Oh, definitely, and I'm definitely going to be playing all the stuff here on Uber Radio Network on BODS Mayhem Hour, too, to get it out there. So it's covered here, my friend, for sure.
Oh, great.
Who all is actually in the lineup now, and God forbid, if you don't mind to answer?
It's the same lineup except for my brother Dallas, who left in 2009, and then we had Matt Wickland from, you know, he used to be in a band called Himza, and he joined, you know, shortly after my brother leaving. It's been, you know, it's just him. That's the only lineup change we've ever had with God forbid. So
with Matt coming aboard, does he bring a different sound, you know, a different heavier sound, or?
I mean, he definitely brings a different writing style. I mean, he has some training, you know, in terms of music theory, you know, and he loves, you know, like a lot of European melodic Swedish metal and stuff. So his style, I think, is more along lines with that. You know, he's a great lead guitar player. So, you know, his, you know, lead playing really, I think, took that part of things with our band up to another level. You know, it kind of gave us another voice, you know, because usually I just play the guitar solo, so it's good to have someone else to bounce things off of, you know. But yeah, he's great, man. He's a great writer and a great player. So,
as you was coming up as a kid and everything, and you got into music, how'd you get into music, and who are some of your influences, man?
You know, I got it. You know, I think just like everyone else, you know, just you hit like that adolescence age at 12, 13, and all of a sudden, you know, you get a little testosterone flowing. I think you start listening to music and looking at girls, and and so it all kind of just, I started watching MTV and seeing Metallica and Guns N' Roses and stuff like that, and and next thing you know, I was really wanted to play guitar, and so just started picking up a little beat up old thing and plucking on it, and then my father got into guitar, and then my brother started playing, and then kind of just one step after another, and next thing you know, we're jamming in the band. So I don't think it's necessarily a unique story, but in terms of like influences early on, it was probably a lot of the same stuff. A lot of kids in the early '90s, it was Pantera, Slayer, Metallica, Sepultura, Megadeth. Those as far as metal, those are really, really big influences. And it got more extreme over the years. And we started getting like Meshuggah and At the Gates and Carcass and bands like that. And as I got older, it's just really expanded into rock music and classic rock and just whatever kind of comes our way. You have a really diverse palette.
With the bands that you guys have played with, who is by far a band that you would actually like to play with again?
Again? We went to tour with Slipknot again. We toured with them in 2004 and had a great time, and it was such a brilliant band and inspiring. So that would be fun.
Yeah, and Slipknot's actually doing the Mayhem Festival right now. I'd love to see that show.
Oh, they're phenomenal.
On this album, with Equilibrium, the writing process, was it more of everybody contributing, or was it just someone else just saying, okay, I'm writing the songs and you guys just put the music to it? Was this album more relaxed writing and producing, or prior to the other one that came out in 2009 and before that?
It was definitely a lot more relaxed, because, Dallas, I think, wasn't really into the style as much, and so there was a lot of tension in terms of pulling the band in certain directions and not really being happy with what we were doing, where, Matt came and we just wanted to make a metal album. There wasn't too much really, conversation about what it was going to be. We just kind of started writing, and Matt wrote a lot of material, and that kind of took the pressure off me, where I didn't have to write as much. So there's a nice even balance between, material where me and Matt would write the instrumental side of things, give it to the band, and then we jam on it, develop it, work it out, and then start working on the lyrics and the vocals after that. And that was like, that was a more challenging process, was writing the lyrics, coming up with vocal melodies, really getting that side of things to figure out what the sound of the band was going to be without my brother, because he had done so much singing and writing, for lyrics. So that was the biggest challenge, I think.
Yeah, and it's always good to have family there too, and it makes things easier when you're on the road.
Yeah, well, but he was looking to start a family, and I just think he was ready to move on. So I think ultimately it was better for both parties.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, yeah, definitely. What can fans expect at a God Forbid show? Is it in your face, coming at you 100 miles an hour?
No, well, it's pretty boring. No. No. I think we've all, our calling card has always been our live show. That's it. Everything comes across heavier. Byron is really intense on stage. Corey, our drummer, plays really hard. And guys, really try and, really perform the songs well, on top of a lot of energy. So, you just have to come and see it. I think it kind of speaks for itself. And, we're going to be out this summer, so people will see the musical styling of the God Forbid Quintet very, very soon.
Yeah, and everybody, I did put the God Forbid Facebook link in the chat room, and also I'm getting ready to put the Victory Records link in there to where you can guys go and take a look at their tour dates. I suggest anybody who can catch this band, catch them, because you will not be disappointed. Their music's fantastic. It's like the old saying, don't take my word for it. Just listen to it. Just give them a chance, everybody. Everybody has their different P's and Q's, but if you can't jam out to this, you can't jam out to anything.
Well, thank you. That's very kind.
With this new album, man, when you guys are playing festivals, do you guys prefer festivals? Do you guys prefer clubs, or do you guys prefer just arenas? Or does it even matter? I
have to say, I do enjoy the big setting. I think it brings a certain, I think, not pressure, but you understand that you got to come out and bring it, in a different kind of way, and you feel like there's kind of almost more at stake, and I like that environment. I think our songs work well in big rooms, but I think, a good club show is awesome too. It's just with clubs, you're kind of at the mercy of whatever venue, sometimes the lights aren't as good, or the sound isn't as good, or the staging isn't as big, so some clubs are great and some suck, so it's more of a mixed bag,
Yeah, I mean, everything can't be roses.
Exactly.
What are some of your memorable shows that you've done with God Forbid?
Memorable shows. Trying to think of. Well, I mean, we usually do tours. I'd say probably one of the most memorable shows was like 2006. We did Download Festival in the UK. Mm-hmm. We played in front of like 20,000 people at like 11 in the morning. We thought like people weren't going to show up, and it ended up being like totally packed, and people went insane. At the time, it was the biggest show we'd ever played. It was really the monumental moment for the band. So that's probably one of the best memories.
Everything I've seen about the Download Festival on YouTube, I mean, it's just a sea of people. It looks like for miles upon miles.
Yeah, it's about 90,000 people come out.
Wow, that's insane. But that shows you how much music is still alive, especially metal music. That shows you right there. And with Download, you have different fans of every genre there too, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean it's a rock metal festival. It's alive and well especially overseas. It does really well. They have a festival culture. That's used to that type of show. They come out.
I want to ask you this because I've just started asking this question, and I think it's pretty cool because when you guys are out on the road, and you've been out on the road and been with different bands, what is one of the craziest things that's ever happened?
The craziest thing?
Yeah.
That's pretty, that's a little ambiguous. I mean, it can be crazy in a lot of different ways.
Crazy in a good way.
Crazy in a good way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, probably, the crazy thing I had me was, getting invited to, play with Lamb of God, open up for Metallica. That's probably, one of, the craziest things that's just kind of out of the blue. Next thing you know, hanging out with Metallica, and they're like the nicest guys in the world, so that's pretty crazy.
How was that up there playing with them, man?
It was great. It was really, it was a great learning experience, and, it was just one of those things. It's one thing I can kind of check off the list. Plus just being, being friends and being a fan of Lamb of God. Being able to play those songs and really trying to do it justice. It's really important to me. It's a big challenge. So I was happy. I hope they did a really good job, and I really worked really hard on it. So it was very cool. Very cool.
Congratulations. I mean, you deserve it. I mean, honestly, I like your guitar playing. I enjoy listening to the music. By all means, trust me. When you guys were coming up you guys are from New Jersey, correct? New York, around that area, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When you guys were coming up, how was the scene for you guys? Did you guys have a lot of following, or did it just come up? It
was incremental. I mean, I think it's way different now than it was then. And we just did it the old-fashioned way. We just went out and we just hustled. We networked and met people and handed out flyers and tried to really play as many places as we could play and get into as many clubs and open for other bands. But then it was really about, like the material. We put out a demo that got some local buzz, and then, a small label picked us up and put out our full-length CD, and that's when things really started happening. It was like when the music really stepped up, and then we started playing, and then like maybe around like 1999, locally in New York, we started seeing some fans emerging, mainly out of the hardcore scene, which is where we came up. So it was just a slow build, and then once the band got signed, started touring, we just kind of built it step by step, So it was very organic. It was a lot of work we earned every fan we had just by going out and playing live, or, people getting the record. So it's different. The internet wasn't around, so it wasn't spread that way, And
that's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about, is busting your ass and doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't know any better. That's all we wanted to do. It wasn't like there was some grand plan or anything. It was just, we just really loved doing it and didn't really, we were just committed to it, and, yeah, I think it paid off, you know.
What kind of guitar do you play, and what's the name of it?
I mean, right now I'm playing some Jacksons. I'm still playing. I have a Jackson soloist, 7-string, and a lightweight soloist, 6-string. And but I have a bunch of guitars. I have, you know, some of my ESPs still left over, and I have a Paul Reed Smith. But I'm working with Jackson right now.
Awesome. So are they going to try to like bring out like a Doc Coyle brand possibly?
I mean, we'll see. I mean, it really, you know, I probably have things I have to probably pick up a little bit more, and you know, sell a little more records, get a little more buzz going. But you know, right now I'm not even concerned about that. I'm just concerned with getting, you know, a guitar that I'm really happy with. You know, so that's, you know, they're a great company. So
Exactly. For anybody who wants to play music, what advice would you give them?
I would say just have fun. You know, do it for the right reasons. Try and, you know, find your own voice. I mean, I know, you know, nothing comes out of thin air. You know, I mean, everyone has influences, but I think, you know, really try and find your own voice and don't, you know, I think right now there's a lot of people doing the same thing. I mean, there's always, whatever the trend is currently, there's always a lot of people doing that. So I don't think that's unique to this era. But, yeah, I mean, I'd say just do what you love, and I think success will come. You know, try not to do things with the idea of, you know, making a bunch of money, because I think it can really, you know, hinder the creative process, you know, and you know, so that's, I don't know, that would be my advice. You know, work hard, though. You know, you have to be smart. You can't, there's no, like, the $1 million record deal is not just sitting out there for people anymore. You know, you have to be, fans have to be a lot more accountable. You can't be drug addicts. You can't be fuck-ups. You have to mind your business, you know, so that's the other thing.
I know this is off topic, but I know you're a huge sports fan, just as I am. Let's talk about the NBA playoffs.
Okay.
You're a Knicks fan, correct?
Yes, huge Knicks fan.
How far do you think they'll go with? I know they lost Jeremy Lin, and if they hadn't lost Jeremy Lin, I would bet anything they'd be in the finals. I would bet anything on that. But I think
I don't know. I mean, they were only healthy, the whole team, for 7 games, and there were 6-1 in that stretch, and then dudes just started falling like flies, and now Stoudemire's out, Shumpert's out for 8 months, Lynn is out, and Baron Davis is not totally healthy. Jared Jeffries isn't totally healthy. Tyson Chandler, you know, is suffering from the flu. So I mean, they're just ravaged. You know, I don't think they're going to win a game in this series against the Heat. I think they're going to get swept. They're barely competitive with the Heat. You know, the Heat just play perfect basketball against them. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, you know, it'd be nice to actually see their whole team function, because they've never, you know, with good coaching, you know, and so they haven't really had that. So it's we'll have to wait till next year, to be honest. I think they just have really bad luck. I mean, last year in the playoffs they lost Stoudemire and Chauncey Billups. This year they used Stoudemire and Shumpert. It's like, you can't, and they're playing probably the best team in the league. You know, it's like, you know, they shit the bed in the first half of the season and basically destroyed their chances for getting good seeding. And they ended up with a 7th seed, and they screwed themselves, you know, and they should have really been a much better team all year. So I don't know what to say. It's kind of a rough deal, but, you know, they made their own bed, and, you know, they had some bad luck, and Stoudemire punched that, you know, fire extinguisher. It's probably one of the dumbest things I've ever heard of.
Oh my God! Are you kidding me? That's what happened to him. See, because I didn't get to see that. I just saw Sports Center where they said where Amari was out, and I was like, you know, hurt his hand. I was like, well, what did he do?
He just was mad and punched a fire extinguisher and like destroyed his hand. It's like, dude, you're making $20 million. You know, I mean, he should get, honestly, to me, like, the guys, they should like give part of their paycheck back. It's like, we're not paying you to sit at home, you know. You're underperforming as is, and now you're gonna, you know, doesn't play any defense. He's below average rebounder, you know, barely scoring. At least don't punch yourself out the game. So, it'll take a miracle for the Knicks to even win one game in the series. So, I'm not holding my breath, but I'm still going to be there every game rooting for him. So, one way or another.
Well, thank you for your time, Doc. I really appreciate it, and I'm definitely a huge fan of God Forbid, and, you know, like I said, hope this tour pans out for you guys, and I hope that you guys get more stuff come your way, because I think you guys really deserve it.
Oh, thank you very much, man. I really appreciate you taking the time to support the band. It means a lot.
Would you please do a promo for me?
Hey, what's up? This is Dr. God Forbid, and listen to BODS Mayhem Hour.
There you go, brother. I hope to catch y'all out on tour at some point, and hopefully get to meet you someday, man.
Right on. I appreciate it.
Everybody, that's Doc Coyle from God Forbid. Please support this band. You can find their CDs almost anywhere. Please pick up Equilibrium. You will not be disappointed. I love the CD, and they have more CDs before that that's actually excellent. So check out God Forbid. Thanks, Doc, for being on the show, man.
Appreciate it. You take care.
You have a good trip, man.
Bye-bye.
You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.